That thumbnail shouldn't be that. Oh, hey, how's it going? Uh, this should be. This is not Dark Souls 2. This is the. I thought that. I guess it's because I started a little bit early, but the weekly game news thingy. And we're gonna pause this because this. Hello, am I here for Dark Souls? No, you're not. I'm sorry. No, you're not. It's actually I'm not doing Dark Souls today. Let's pop this out though. He's still got a little bit of cold, but we'll do this. This is the. Hopefully, we're doing this game news thingy, and this is going to be recorded and uploaded, so that yeah, people can see it without any problems. So let me know how's everything. Gum, are you doing fine? No, not really. So that's that. I wonder if this got tweeted out by itself. I'm assuming it did not. It's not even 10 o'clock yet though, because we're supposed to start at 10. So yeah, how's everybody? The one person that's watching. Did that save? That save. Da, 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 da. That. Oh, it's yellow. Yellow. Current resolution is not optimal. Well, sorry. That the resolution's not to the stream's liking. Can you hear me? Oh, that's a question. I can't. I don't have it. I can put on the headphones. I didn't put the headphones on. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. Everything is great. Oh, awesome. 10 o'clock. Is it 10 o'clock? Yes, it is 10 o'clock. Okay, so we are... did that tweet out? Let's make sure that tweeted out. And... so yeah, that's the thing. Let's see. Did that tweet out? Or do I have to tweet that out myself? Let's just we're just gonna tweet this out myself. Ooh, yeah. That's some of the news that we're gonna be talking about. But yeah, this is the beta, alpha, whatever, the first trial of. Oops. Yeah, I kind of messed that up. I didn't actually do anything with that. So let's start the thing. Let's start the fun train. I actually didn't. I don't have. Let's pause that over here. Yes, you could hear me. Cool. And so many tabs. I hope Rune doesn't show up because he would get really angsty with me. Angsty emo weeb with me. But yeah, that's that. So today we're going to be talking about some of the weekly game news, and this is something that we were trying out. So so first things first. With a lot of the stuff that's been going on with For Honor had a bunch of like microtransactions that they added to the game, a lot of emotes and stuff, and people were like, "Hey, this is really expensive. What's up with this?" And then the directors were all like, "Yo, yeah, the thing is that you weren't even supposed to. You're not supposed to get all the stuff for all the characters, so don't even worry about that. Just focus on one character," which is kind of really messed up, though. But so now people were threatening to boycott, and now people now the devs are trying to be like, hey, we don't want people to leave this game, and so so here they're giving more stuff, which is kind of really shows like when you get angry about stuff on the internet, but when you get angry about stuff on the internet, like stuff happens, you know. No, you close your tabs. Hey, does anybody want to join me for this, or as voice? It might be a little bit more interesting if we have more people talking. I don't know if that's something that people want to do. Yeah, but yeah. Also, really interesting thing that a lot of people were speculating that Facebook was going to do this with the Oculus Rift, which HTC is apparently now doing, is that they're putting ads in. HTC is now putting ads inside of the Vive, which is kind of really interesting, like how that will end up if that actually works. And I hope that it doesn't. I don't know. It might end up with more revenue options for developers and stuff, but the thing is that it's kind of really intrusive if you ever played a VR game. That'd be kind of weird to see a pop-up ad there, and that would be even more annoying than anything. Oh no, you're at work. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so that's that. You know what? If anybody wants to join me for this, I'm in the on my Discord. I'm in the podcast channel, so if you want to join, start talking about stuff. So that's the questions about that is kind of weird. Let's try to see how that works out. I don't know. Something that people have been pointing out, that Final Fantasy 15, when it first launched, that there was a lot of cut content, and so they're adding back in the story, and so some people there's this really funny joke in here about alternative facts. I saw this on Twitter. People were sharing this around, and some people were kind of angry that they're like, "Hey, games shouldn't be political." It's just like, I thought it was kind of funny that that they added that. You know, a Japanese developer did that. So yeah, yeah. So if you want to join, I'm in my Discord, the podcast channel. So you do that, and hello.
Oh,
hi. How's it going?
Sorry.
So yeah, we're talking game news.
Hey, game news.
Yep. So this is gonna be like a weekly thing. Hopefully, just very casual, nothing formal. And then maybe we might do random stuff. But so the Secret World, the MMO, how like weird, like supernatural stuff is going free to play. I only mention that is just because people keep asking me, "Hey, stuff to play," and then I'm like, "Okay, there's a bunch of stuff out there. You just got to find it." So it's free to play, so it's free to try. I mean, I never played it, but I know that people really enjoy it. It has like a really cult following, but I do hope that it gets to be a thing, that more people get to try it.
Oh yeah. I haven't heard much about the game. I only briefly heard it in like passing, but hey, as long as it's something that people can enjoy, I'm on board with it.
Speaking of, I don't think I pulled up an article on it, but speaking of games that you could try for free. If you have PS4, if you have PS Plus, next month, the next month's free game is going to be David Jaffe's new game. David Jaffe, the guy who made Twisted Metal. Yeah, his new game, Drawn to Death, which it doesn't look too interesting, but it's free. It's free to try. For if you have PS Plus, you get it. So, I mean, I guess it's worth checking out if you have PS Plus. It's free to, if you could just download it and try it out. It's gonna be a multiplayer, cartoonish game. Yeah, It's called Drawn to Death. To Death. So yeah, that's the game right there. The only thing that made me interested on it, like I hate the art style and everything. It's like it's supposed to be like this notebook type thing, but I'm not too big of a fan of that. But it kind of looks really ugly. But the pedigree behind it is pretty interesting. David Jaffe, Twisted Metal is a lot of people like it, and it's a pretty fun game. Twisted Metal is, but who knows if this is gonna be fun? I haven't heard anybody like any reviews or anything. It looks like Death Run in Gmod. Yeah, it does.
Though it's probably better than Death Run in Gmod.
Well, more polished. I hope so that it's more polished.
Well, that's the point of Gary's mod is that it's not polished.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is a shooter. It's a shooter. It's a third person. Like I think it's a hero shooter. But that's a thing that people are interested in.
I don't know. I kind of like the art style.
You like it? Yeah.
I don't know, because I think I just kind of like because it's minimalistic, but as you can see, it's actually you can see the models of it and the designs very well, and they stick out, even though it's all white on white. So
I think there's another game I think that did it better was like Mad World. If you know that game, I think Mad World did that.
It does remind me of Mad World a whole lot. Like basically the only M-rated game that on
the Wii.
On the Wii.
Yeah, and then
I think it's
the Wii U had the only M-rated game on the Wii U was Bayonetta 2.
No. I think there was a couple others.
Zombie U and. Yeah, actually, yeah, never mind.
Wasn't there a Call of Duty that was on the Wii U?
Black Ops 2. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then I think that was it. Maybe Modern Warfare 3 came out on it. I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Yeah, as a late release now. Okay. But big news that came out yesterday was that Palmer Luckey is leaving Oculus, which I kind of makes you wonder why he's leaving if he's being pushed out by Facebook, because he's kind of been like this not good face to them. He's kind of like delegitimizing VR. Like people who don't want to see VR succeed are pointing to him, and he's like, "Oh, look at this kid! He gets all this millions of dollars, and now he's paying for shit posts of political shit posts, and he's claiming that it's not true." Even though that a lot of people say it's him, but he's leaving the company. Hopefully, it's through his own volition, and that maybe he sees greener pastures. Most likely, he has a lot of money. He might retire. I look up to this guy because he's like 19, and he's doing this. Was it Palmer Luckey, and he's like 24. Oh, he's 24. Yeah, he's a little bit older than me, but that's still pretty young. That's still pretty good, and I do hats off to the guy. Hopefully it's just because he just wanted to leave, and not because Facebook wanted him out or something. But I mean, I guess there's a lot of speculation because since that lawsuit that happened between Facebook and ZeniMax, and now what's the guy's name? John Carmack is countersuing back to ZeniMax uh, really weird stuff. But hopefully it has nothing to do with that, and that a lot of people speculate that Palmer Luckey didn't really do much of it. Like when Palmer Luckey showed John Carmack, a lot of speculation is that when Palmer Luckey showed John Carmack the original Oculus Rift that he made in his garage, that it was is like just completely bad, and that John Carmack did most of the work for the Oculus Rift, which I kind of believe, because John Carmack does have all this pedigree of moving forward technology, like a lot of this stuff that he's done for the gaming industry as a whole through just the technological aspects, and to think that he might have done most of the heavy lifting on the Oculus Rift is probably not too far-fetched. Not this kid, but yeah, that's that. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Not really, since I only now found out about this. Well, I mean, you did say it was news that was released yesterday.
Yeah.
So of course, if I had any more thoughts, they would just kind of be repeating what you already said, because I kind of felt the exact same way. I just hope that he wasn't forced to leave. That's just really it.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe it was.
I mean, I guess it's better for Facebook, because he's not a really good PR person.
Yeah. That's.
Remember all those memes that happened when he was on the cover of Time magazine looking all derpy?
Oh no, I remember that.
I
was like, wait a minute, who is this person? I swear I've seen him before. And...
Yeah, Palmer Luckey. Yeah. Unfortunately, he has not been good to VR. So speaking a line of like more things you could try out, Mafia 3 got a new DLC. Apparently, it's not too long, but it's actually pretty decent. But with that, also you get to try it out for free. So there's a free demo for it right now. So I mean, more things for you to try. And I hear the story is actually pretty good. So I mean, but the gameplay is kind of lacking. Like it's that generic, open world thing. But like, I mean,
it's probably not as generic as Dead Rising 4. So I'll give it a shot. Okay.
Yeah.
After playing that, I'm like, any open world is better than this.
Yeah. So I guess
even Watch Dogs 1.
Oh, that's high praise for Watch Dogs 1. Yeah, so I guess this is like a I haven't tried it out myself, $20-$30 game that you could, if you find it on the sale, I think that this would, from what I've seen of the game, it looks pretty decent.
That reminds me, I still need to beat Mafia 2. I think I got like halfway into it.
Yeah, I hear the story is pretty good. Noah Caldwell-Gervais, he does really good retrospectives, and his retrospective on the Mafia series is actually pretty good. Makes me want to play the games, but the problem is the first one is not available digitally, so you have to either pirate it or find a physical copy, and the physical copies are really hard to find because it's a Polish developer.
Oh,
and it never got really it never really got published by the first one. Never really got picked up by a big publisher, so it's really hard to find. And I've been like ever since it came out, because like I saw like articles on it, and it was like, hey, this is actually a pretty good game from a really weird place. And I played the demo, and I was like, oh, hey, this is pretty good. Back in the day, and yeah, I still haven't played it. That came out in 2001, so this is like 16 years later. I should get onto that.
I just think that they should just re-release the first Mafia game.
The problem is with that is that it was a different developer. I don't know what 2K Games has, what kind of deal they have with the branding of the Mafia series. What they did with that original. Did I say Polish? I think they were Czech, actually, with that original Czech developer. And
yeah. They were Czech. I remember now. You're right.
And Mafia 2 was also made in the Czech Republic, made by 2K Czech, and which doesn't exist anymore. And I think that the Hangar 43 is also in the Czech Republic, but I'm not sure about that. But it's kind of interesting that they kept it in Europe, and they're commenting on American society, values of the American dream and all that. I think that's what makes.
I find that interesting. It's not every video game does that.
Yeah, they don't talk about that. That's really themes about like a lot of mafia movies. They do talk about the American dream, why it's like how these guys try to work after the American dream. Most of them tend to be tragedies. It's like trying to suggesting the American dream is kind of stupid, but I do like mob movies that do that, but I kind of find it funny that a lot of people like movies like Scarface and like The Godfather that or Goodfellas, like that people like tend to like gravitate more of the glorification parts of those movies, when actually the ultimate narrative of those movies is like, hey, this life is kind of really stupid. But
yeah, I never really got that. I still haven't watched Scarface, but when I watched Godfather, I was like, wait, this is like the film that everyone points to. That's like, yeah, I want to be in the mafia. It's like, what? No, this looks terrible.
I'm
not going to even talk about the third film. That's just.
I have problems with even the first Godfather. It's a beautifully made film, but like it's not my favorite mob movie. I think it gets like it's basically a soap opera for men.
Oh.
If you put it in that terms, it's like it's very long and it's very dramatic and it's very cheesy and. But it's very
it came out at the right time.
It's very masterfully done. It's also one of those films, if you actually look through film history, that actually set up the film pricing structure that we have right now. Because before then, it used to be like, okay, the whole term of a B movie. It's a B movie because not only was the budget less, but it was cheaper to go into. But with the mafia with the Godfather, what that said is Godfather said that okay, hey, this is going to be the same price. All movies are going to be the same price, and now every single movie is the same price. So no matter if it's good or bad, because the bad movies don't want to lower their prices to make it seem like, hey, this is a lesser quality. And so it set that precedent. A lot of historians look back to it as that.
Okay, that's.
But I think that I think that more movies should do what games do, is have a variable pricing structure, so that yeah. Because like more people would want to go to see a stupid movie that was cheaply made if the tickets were cheap. But if you actually like varied the pricing structure due to demand and supply and demand, I think that would be more interesting than what's going on. But anyway.
Okay.
Anyways, we're segueing into movies. We're talking about some more developments about the Lara Croft movie. Some more photos were released, and it looks really interesting. They're taking more inspirations for the third reboot of the Tomb Raider franchise.
Okay, because we had the original game, and then there was, I think, like
the PS2 reboots.
Yeah,
the Crystal Dynamics reboots.
Yeah, and apparently that really wasn't good. I don't know. I never played that one. So.
Tomb Raider. I do have those games. Tomb Raider. What's it called? Tomb Raider. Legends was a remake of the first one. That's pretty decent.
Okay, see that. That I heard was good.
The one before that was those are pretty good, decent games. I don't think they're bad. The one that was bad that made them have to reboot the series was Darkness Edge of something. Princess of Darkness.
Something about Darkness Edgy. Yeah, that.
hey, this is the early 2000s. Guess what everybody's interested in?
The Darkness. And
Yeah.
funny enough, there was a game called The Darkness.
Yeah, that's also a movie about a game about mob, how the mob is stupid.
Wow. We
Yeah.
really did like our darkness and edginess.
Yeah, segues. We're doing pretty well with segues here. Speaking of darkness and edginess, Call of Duty.
Oh, wow, that's like the antithesis of darkness and edgy.
Yeah, it's like, hey, from darkness to edginess, it's like, hey, you know, Warrior's not too bad, right? Actually, that's not really about what. It depends on what, like, the Call of Duty game actually. What is because different.
I always thought it was supposed to be the fact that just war sucks. So
Yeah,
let me
yeah, most of them. Most of them are war sucks, but I would say that World at War gets really close to being like, hey, you know, isn't it fun to burn these Japanese people to crisps while we play rock music in the background?
Oh no! That was Black Ops 2, where you had that ending.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be Avenged Sevenfold who sang. But
World at War did that as well. They like when you were playing the game, when you were playing the game when you got the flamethrower, some really exciting music started playing, and it was all like, "Hey, this is fun, right, guys? Burning these people. It's a lot of fun." So a lot of the indications in the industry is saying that the next Call of Duty game is World War II. And some images got leaked of a poster.
Well, they're saying it's World War II because, well, just look at that.
Yeah, it's apparently the title is being called World War II, which I think is really stupid to call it Call of Duty World War II.
Who is making this one? Is it Treyarch?
Sledgehammer. It's the 3-year cycle. So the last one was Infinity Ward. Before that was Treyarch. So now it's back to Sledgehammer. Since they made
okay, Sledgehammer is interesting since they made Advanced Warfare. That's actually one that I personally like.
A lot of people don't like Advanced Warfare. I think it's very pretentious, but I think it was actually a really good story, one of the best stories since. And then Infinite Warfare came out, and I really liked the story of Infinite Warfare.
I have some issues with some of the level structure and design, but that in the campaign, but that's about it.
Yeah. So it's a World War II Call of Duty game. I kind of disappointed that because like sources were saying that before Sledgehammer was supposed to be making a Vietnam Call of Duty game back when they were way back in the last generation. It was supposed to be a Vietnam game, but then they were called in to help with Modern Warfare 3, so they had to completely scrap that game. I was kind of hoping that they would be able to like remake that game, but
maybe in the next 3 years.
Next 3 years,
or Treyarch will just say no, you know we'll make that one. We'll fill it with rock music. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I don't like Treyarch.
No, that's pretentious. I think.
I think the pretentious.
I would have to look at it.
I think the pretentious gets
back on that Black Ops 3 story.
I think that pretentious gets thrown around too much, like as something like, oh, I don't understand this, and therefore it's pretentious. But like,
I always thought it was supposed to be that. Yeah, I get it. I understand what you're trying to do, but you're just kind of making it super obvious that.
The definition of pretentious is supposed to be like trying to feign more importance than you actually are. So trying to seem more philosophical and more important. A lot of people.
So basically, Black Ops 3.
Yeah. I feel like Black Ops 3 is like that. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. That one's hard to analyze.
I actually really didn't understand what the heck was going on all the time.
Exactly. So that like just labeling that blindly pretentious. I find this is going to be very controversial. I really like Hideo Kojima, but I find his works more pretentious than one of the most pretentious things. Because like he thinks like having a theme in a game means a person standing up literally on almost literally on a soapbox and preaching to you the themes of the game means that that game has those themes. And not really. I mean,
I think the best example, it's a long conversation, but hey, it's Metal Gear Solid 2, is near the end where you find where the plot twist happens and you find out the real. That, oh god.
I mean, that wasn't really pretentious, because that one was talking about that one kind of really reinforced the idea of me. Because if you look at Metal Gear Solid 2 from the standpoint of memes and not like the internet memes, but like common ideas throughout history, how they get distorted and stuff, because like if you look at Raiden as a character, as being the player character, and how, you know, like they look up to Snake and they want to be Snake, and everything about Snake, they're like, oh man, Snake is this really great guy, Snake, but they can't be Snake. You can never be Snake, because you're just
the fact that, like, in the beginning you just had a name and it doesn't play any importance until the end, where you see the dog tag and it's just gone, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, a lot of fans really hate Metal Gear Solid 2, but I really like Metal Gear Solid 2. Also, it was my first Metal Gear game, so I'm kind of biased.
That's very odd. Oh, I guess and I'm not entirely sure if it would be like recommended you play it that way, because then you kind of wouldn't get the...
Yeah, because you're like, hey, what happened to Metal Gear Solid 1? That was not really...
Well, there's that, and you wouldn't have the kind of emotional connection with, like, Snake.
Yeah.
And especially to this new guy who's just...
Yeah. Which Kojima clearly wanted you to have, and even with the release structure of that, yeah. But that's... Anyway.
It's the only reason why I consider Metal Gear Solid 3 to be the best, because you could just jump into that.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 3.
You don't need, like, any other supplementary material to learn anything. You can just straight up go into this game, and it's fun.
Speaking of game sequels that you could easily jump into, Battlefront 2 is going to be revealed at Star Wars Celebration.
Wait a minute. There was already a Battlefront. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah. Nope. We don't talk about that one, because that company doesn't exist. Rip pandemic.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I heard about this, and I'm just really, well...
I mean,
I hope that it's better.
Star Wars Battlefront...
Actually give us a game.
Yeah. Star Wars Battlefront, it exists. It sold a lot of copies. I do hear from... I don't hate it as much as other people do, because I do recognize it as more of a mainstream, hey, you like this movie, try out this game. And
yeah,
I see it more
when you look at it like
I look at it more as like that, but I think that a game should be able to cater more towards all audiences, and hardcore, and the casual player.
Unless it's like an indie title, or it specifically is targeted for a certain audience, then it should try to reach the most people as possible.
Yeah, and so from what I've heard, a lot of reports were coming out after Battlefront came out, the first one, that a lot of it had to do with EA messing around with it, saying, hey, it has to be out in the time frame of the movie.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, and it has to be mainstream. You got to be stripped. A lot of the features to be stripped out so that it's easy for people to pick up and play. And then,
I will admit, it is very, very easy for people to pick up and play.
The main problem with the first one is that the main problem with the first one is that there was a lack of content. I even acknowledge that.
If you get it now, but because I think you can get the
you could get it.
Edition
you could get $20 for the whole thing. Even the DLC, which
probably a good deal if you have some people to play it with. Yeah, definitely, because the one greatest thing about Battlefront is that you definitely feel like you're in the Star Wars universe.
A lot of sound design and the graphics and the shooting. Like I tried to play Battlefront 2 recently, the original one, and a lot of people like look up to that game, and it's still a pretty fun game, but the shooting isn't, you know, it's not.
It's a fun game, but it definitely has flaws.
Yeah, so that's that. There also it's like highly unbalanced. Like if you once you tip the scale of like command points, if you capture 3 command points, you've won the game. It's almost impossible. Like there is some pushing back and forth, but it's almost impossible to.
Oh, it's that, and then the winning team gets the hero, and it's like, oh, okay, well,
yeah, it's easy to get steamrolled in that original one.
Dead.
Galactic Conquest as well. If you're playing against someone who's like just winning battles after battles after battles, it's just like that's not fun. You're getting steamrolled.
Well, I actually do like the space stuff, which is why I was sad when
it didn't have.
Battlefront didn't have it.
Apparently, they're saying that they're not restricting it to a certain time frame, and they're not.
Okay.
They might have.
Well, they say that now.
They say that now. We'll see. Hopefully, there'll be a open beta with some of the DLC did have space battles, so hopefully they'll have space battles in this one. A really interesting interview came out recently with the from Eurogamer with the writer of the original with the Witcher books, which so reading through this, some really interesting things came to mind because like first of all he took a lump sum instead of like he wasn't. So CD Projekt Red wasn't the first people to come with him with ideas for a RPG. Apparently, the guy who made he used to work for it's hard for me to say this guy, Ethan Schermerlix or something. He's also Polish.
That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, he worked on Ethan Carter, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, and then Bulletstorm as well when he was working at People Can Fly. But
hey, remember Bulletstorm? That was a game. Will we talk about the trailer?
The trailer? Do you want to talk about the trailer?
Later.
The meme, did that come out this week? The meme trailer? Yeah.
I think it was technically the end of last week, but
I think it was last week, but we'll talk about it. But since you want to, but yeah. So some interesting things. He took a. So apparently, he didn't want a revenue stream, a percentage of the sales. Instead, he took a lump sum payment from CD Projekt Red, which we don't know the amount. It didn't say, but also he's not really too proud of this direction that the series has gone, which is kind of stupid because like when you think about it, because this guy was the most popular Polish writer. CD Projekt Red is Polish as well. He's only gone to Polish people to try to get this game made. He doesn't like video games, apparently, he says early on. But then later on in the interview, he's like, "No, I don't hate video games. I just don't like them." But
no, basically, you do. Stop lying to us.
Yeah, he was saying early in the interview, he's like, "Yeah, I'd rather like he was like playing." He makes this anecdote of saying that he was playing a video game where you shoot Martians, and he's like, "Oh, video games are stupid." And he went back to playing cards and drinking vodka, which is like, isn't that as stupid as no? But yeah. So he says that he wishes he had taken the revenue percentage and stuff like that. It's a pretty interesting interview. I'll probably link it when this video actually goes up. Where he's talking about where he got these ideas for the Witcher series and how he's not really too proud of where this series has gone, unfortunately. But you know that's what happens.
Yeah. It's kind of video games.
It's kind of stupid because like when he did the original deal, like he's the most popular writer, right? Why couldn't he get like any good agent would be able to like argue for, okay, creative control, not only a lump sum but also a percentage of the revenue stream. Why couldn't he have gotten both? Yeah, it's just like, okay, this is very very stupid. He also says he gets pissed off when people walk up to him and talk about the game. He's like, I like the games that your books are based off of. But yeah, I think that's very interesting. He didn't like it that the publishers started republishing the book with the images on the cover from the game, saying, "Hey, for the popular." Yeah.
That's.
But that's
that I can see them being, especially if you want to distance yourself from it, but you kind of can't because you kind of wrote yourself into this. I get it. Fun.
I don't feel bad for him because, you know, he didn't in his deal he didn't say, "Hey, I want creative control." You
kind of just did sign them over your license and said do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, basically, you could use It's just like I don't have sympathy for him. Even like
it's basically when George Lucas got mad that Episode 7 was going to be made. It's like, dude, you can't do anything about this. Just signed it off. Just
he could still say that he doesn't like it. I think his George Lucas' statements about the film industry is interesting. I think that I think geek culture has pushed him aside, but I think he still has interesting statements to say about, you know, how films get made. His statement that Disney is these like white slavers was kind of really interesting to me, actually. But other Witcher news is apparently they sold 25 million copies, which is great, you know, for an RPG, you know, to sell that much. That's not really. I don't think that's very common. Also, since
it's been out for like what, 2 years?
It's been out since 2015. Yeah, mid-May. I think it was a May release of 2015.
Okay, so we're approaching the third year, but
yeah,
and it's still a great game to play.
Yeah, what happens when you make a good game? You have a good developer. They do good community service. They put out good DLC, free DLC, and free DLC, and also expansions that actually add to the experience. It shows that, you know, making good content does that. I do hold CD Projekt Red to a high regard, also because they do own GOG, which is like one of the most friendly DRM services, because like it's DRM free. You could just install. It's better than Steam, I think. I prefer GOG over Steam.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I might try that sometime. But yeah, I didn't know that they did that.
Yeah, they own that service, and it's a pretty good service because they not only do they repackage old games and make it like you could. There's old games that you can play out there, and then you know that they work. It just, I think that's cool that they do that.
Bravo! That's like you're real.
Yeah.
Help the consumer.
Yeah. And also another piece of Witcher news is apparently don't count out Geralt, because he might be coming another time. There is a possibility for Witcher 4, but that's probably unlikely, though. But even though that they said that Witcher 3 would be the final game, I still haven't beat Witcher 3, mainly because my save file got corrupted, so I don't know what happens at the end. But I'm kind of interested in their next game, though, Cyberpunk 2077, because I'm more of a science fiction person. But that's that.
Yeah, and. Well, see, that's a real testament to The Witcher, is that I am more of a sci-fi person, but I was able to be invested into this fantasy world.
Yeah.
So, good job.
Yeah, it's a really good game. I do like it.
I had no idea that would happen.
Also, another piece of Witcher news. So the Gwent is going to be on PS4. I would try that out.
I stuck at it
They do have a really good tutorial in this version, in this standalone version. It's actually a little bit easier to understand than like the one guy in that bar who's like, hey, hey, I know you're busy right now, but do you want to listen to me talk for like 30 minutes about how to play this game? Is just like
that you don't even need to play to beat the game.
Yeah, it's like, and he's like, oh, this is optional, so you don't really need to do this. And I kind of skipped past that part, but then I kind of.
Oh, is that Mr. T?
That's not Mr. T. No, it's just it's a cosplayer.
Dang it! He looks like Mr. T.
Yeah, all these are.
Oh, Mr. T's in Gwent. Okay, you sold me.
Yeah, he would sell me, but yeah, I would, if you like Hearthstone. This is a more but wish it was more complicated. This is a more complicated and more skill based. I would say it's more skill based than Hearthstone. So yeah. So you could try this out.
Because this is basically from fan demand, kind of.
Yeah.
Because,
yeah. Definitely.
Because people really liked Gwent and what they made, so it's kind of logical that they would, after seeing so many people play it, they're like, yeah, maybe we should just make it.
Yep.
It's definitely better than like freaking whatever the minigame was in Knights of the Old Republic that I just never could get into, and it was so boring and dull, and yeah, I don't know. It's just usually whenever there's a minigame type thing in RPGs, I tend to not play it, but maybe when I go back to Witcher 3, I'll try Gwent, and maybe
or you try the standalone version, which is better.
Or I'll just try that. Who knows?
Yeah. So Destiny 2 was revealed to the surprise of no one, because it was been rumored for a very long time. It was practically inevitable that Destiny being the most expensive game ever made, and also it did a lot of money, and it has a very fervent fan base.
Oh yeah, the fans of it are, well, they exist, and it's kind of a bit, it's kind of noticeable whenever the fans come, and they will defend Destiny to the end of time.
I think Destiny gets a bad rap, but I think that I don't see any difference between Destiny and Borderlands or Diablo, for that matter. I think
the main difference is that, well, with Borderlands it had a more unique style and than this, which is kind of just sci-fi for the sake of being sci-fi.
I thought it's
because it also had more interesting lore and story at launch than this did, and even then, I heard that the expansions don't even really expand on a lot of
really, because I heard
they more or less just drop new ideas and try to flesh out a new story.
Oh well, yeah. Well, basically, WoW expansions as well, though. I mean, if you come in at an idea that it's like an MMO looter, then it's fine. It's fine, but like, so the new reveal shows that the apparently the Citadel or whatever the tower thing is now on fire. The big ball that was floating in the sky is on fire, and everything is destroyed. So what it seems like, there was like this big battle, got destroyed, and now it's gonna be like this. Hey, you and this ragtag group of people are gonna try to fix the world again.
You are part of how many people play the game. Players that are super special, and you will need to do this thing, and you have to do it because we are all incompetent. Okay.
Yeah.
Seems fair.
The main problem with the Destiny was that they, which kind of, the guy who wrote the story was supposed to be in the game, but he sued Bungie because they took his writings and they put it online. Because remember, when you play the game, you got these cards, and they were like, hey, check out this card online.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
So apparently, I guess for some reason they didn't have the budget, or in that $500 million that they spent on this game, they didn't have the budget to put it in there.
Well,
or,
keep in mind, most of that must have gone to like
marketing.
The several parties that they had, obviously.
Yeah, they did pay Sir John McCartney on John. Yeah, they did pay John McCartney to do music and a music video, but that wasn't even in the game, I don't think. Or
yeah, so
no, the music wasn't. The orchestrals were in there, but there's a song that wasn't in the final game. But
wow, you paid for that, and it's not even in the freaking game. Come on, this is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got all this money. Go on, whatever.
Apparently I had something out, but apparently EA is also saying that that they're gonna reveal plans of how they're gonna fix Mass Effect Andromeda. Within the next week, they're gonna reveal exactly what detailed plans of it. But they're saying, "Hey, don't worry, guys. We're gonna fix the bugs in Andromeda. Please don't give up on us. Buy our loot boxes and our multiplayer, please. We want more money, please." Your $60 wasn't enough.
I am just surprised that like they didn't basically say that, you know, we will fix them, but you're gonna need to buy those loot boxes. I mean, if we reach 1 million sales in loot boxes, we will fix up the game.
That's holding patches hostage. I don't like that idea, but I mean, the realities of game development is kind of.
That seems like a very EA thing that they might do. I mean, not realistically. I would hope not, but oh well. It's interesting though. I really do want to pick up Mass Effect Andromeda, but I'll probably pick it up if they fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I have a better experience starting with it. If that makes any sense. And plus, by the time they probably fix it, I could probably find it on sale, and I'll just get it then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's technically what I did with the original 3 Mass Effects. I mean,
yeah, I didn't play it when they came out, so I've been looking at them at a fresh eye from someone who wasn't really excited for when they came out, and I'm like, okay, these are pretty. I'm sorry to any Mass Effect fans out there, but they're pretty average games. To me, at least. A lot of people do say that there is some credence to what I think, that, you know, like when you look at Mass Effect, you see the same things in BioWare's other games, like they've been making the same game over and over again. But that's just other people's opinions. So some games that got released recently, reviews came out for Persona 5, very positive. A lot of 8.5s, 9s, stuff like that. And so I think that's cool for people who like that stuff. I am not too big a fan. I'm big a fan of RPGs in general. I'm sorry. I'm more of an action RPG person, but you know, that's that. Persona 5, JRPG goodness.
Also, what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's a game. I was just gonna go on to Steam to see what the sales were, but you already did it for me.
Yeah, it's not, Persona 5 is not going to be on PC though. If you have a PS4 only, it's a PS4 exclusive.
What? Oh no! Wait a minute, but isn't it also on PS3?
It's on PS3 as well, yeah. Because it was released in Japan a while back, actually, already.
And I don't even know if then that probably means they didn't really optimize it for PS4.
PS3. Oh yeah, like add graphics and stuff. You're talking
like
about?
Add things, or they probably added some things for localization, but I'm more talking about like actually fixing up maybe some minor graphical issues, or really like enhancing it. It's probably just the same.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look, it's the anime sale on Steam. Hey, Rune, are you here?
I don't think Rune's here. There's only 2 people here. Probably one of them is me, and one of them is you.
Whatever.
So,
anyway, the point is.
Yeah. So you could. A weird thing that came out, a news story that came out about Persona 5 is that you can't share the game at all. You know, the PlayStation function where you press the share button, and you could tweet out like a clip of the game. You can't do that at all.
That's terrible. Why? Why would they do that?
They said I'm pulling up the article. No, it's just a thing that people have noticed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Disabling the feature in Persona 5 has forced people to take photos with their phones. Yeah.
Though it does seem to be getting some pretty high reviews.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
That's actually really good. I think Persona 4 did get some very favorable reviews. So
more good games is good.
Persona 5 is out.
I just wish
if you like anime, you probably like this.
My criticism with most like Japanese stuff, it's like, hey, it's a bunch of high schoolers, teenagers who try to find more about themselves through the cooperation of each other to find out that you've just gotta believe.
Well, it's kind of like that, except that. Oh man, that's okay. Well, Atlas is still a part of this, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Atlas, developer Atlas. Yeah.
Yeah, they. Oh boy, they. That's like every single one of their games, because they don't only do Persona games. I mean, one of their series that was kind of their one-off. People want a sequel to it, but I don't really think it's worth a sequel. As in, I don't really know how you could do a sequel. Is Catherine? You remember when that came out?
Oh yeah. That was actually a
that's
interesting
also
game.
Atlas.
Yeah. Okay.
That is also Atlas.
I haven't played it myself, but you know, I do intend on playing it one day because I hear
that's the other anime.
Because it seems very unique because like there's not a lot of games that talk about like relationships and stuff like that. I think that there's
you just gotta get by the puzzle aspect of it. But if you're good with puzzles, then I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think there should be like more varieties in games and not just doing the same thing over and over again. They publish Demon Souls. Yeah. Yeah. So Persona 5, you like JRPGs, you got it. Unless you're a certain friend of mine who doesn't have the money to buy it, but will buy a $10 Square Enix bundle that he doesn't know what's in it.
Yeah, but literally, if you look at Atlas video games, that's what you're doing right now, looks like they specialize in only one type of game.
Yeah.
And then occasionally branch off.
Yeah.
Also, Trauma Center. Oh god, I recently found out what that was. Basically, it's surgeons and doctors, but they now they have like superpowers, and that makes them do better jobs. And then there's like super viruses that you have to. It's weird.
Oh, a surgeon game? Yeah. There is an actual surgeon simulator that I used to play, Surgery Simulator, where you actually have to do the surgery. Not like a joke simulator game. It was an actual simulator where you actually have to make the decisions properly and do everything right. Runes does need.
Except that it was for the DS.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and
but there was a Wii game, and you used the motion controls, and I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that there should be all kinds of varieties of games instead of just like, I mean, I like shooty bang games, but those get boring after a while, there's only a certain amount of shooty bang that you could do, but or slashy slashy slash.
Basically, it's the reason why you don't want a Dark Souls 4.
And yeah, the main reason why I don't want Dark Souls 4 or a Bloodborne 2, I want more uniqueness coming from FromSoft, which they haven't been able to succeed. Which is why I don't really like Dark Souls 3 or its DLC that much. Even though that Dark Souls is like my favorite series.
So is there anything else?
Yeah. Another game that came out recently, actually, that I do want to talk about, that I want to shout out, because I do wish that it was on the top instead of this stupid Battlegrounds game, which is basically DayZ or Battle Royale all over again. People buy the same game over and over again. I don't get it, but
is this like asset flips buying the same game over, or this is like literally?
No, this is a new game. It's a new game. I'm not literally saying that. I'm saying it's basically the same thing. It's like one of those multiplayer games where you gotta survive and you gotta gather equipment and you gotta shoot each other and the last person standing wins. It's basically that genre, but it's very popular. It's made like I was reading an article. I don't know what Battlegrounds. It made like $30 million. Yeah, it's entry level Arma, and they're saying it's a lot of fun. Okay, but I mean, I guess if you have fun with that, it pulls $11 million dollars in 3 days. 11 million. I mean, it looks like I guess it's a polished game. If it's a polished game, people are liking it. It's being streamed a lot. It's the most...
Okay, you see, I've just realized, I was trying to think, like, what would be the main appeal, and I'm like, okay, streamers.
Yeah.
It's being making streamers.
It's being streamed a lot, perfect. And just like Battle Royale or DayZ was, but DayZ is dead now. Rip DayZ, but before it even came out. Like, some of the weirdest games become, like, the most best-selling. Like, I was listening to a podcast, and they were saying Ghost Recon Wildlands is the best-selling game this year so far. And I'm like, really, that game?
What?
People are buying that game?
What? I swear, I've never even, like, seen any, like, trailers or anything for that. It never, ever, like, popped up. Mass Effect Andromeda trailers popped up from time to time, but... Not Ghost Recon.
I guess because if you want to play that game, you gotta buy it 4 times for your friends. So like, hey, you wanna? Yeah. Sales.
So what was the new game you wanted to talk about?
I want to talk about Thimbleweed Park, and if you've been seeing me on Twitter, I've been talking about this game, but it's the new game from what's his name? Dan Gilbert, the guy who made Monkey Island. So, so if you like Monkey Island, you know, this is his new game. The reviews have been really great from a lot of the places they've been saying that it's a really fun game, and I do plan on picking it up as soon as, you know, this becomes $20 up here. The Steam Wallet dollars that I have, but which should be soon because I do have money coming in from Quab, if you're there.
Well, maybe. Yeah, and then he suddenly just left.
Yeah, he's not.
So, was that all you wanted to talk about? I have only like two things I might want to add.
Yeah, if you want to add anything, totally.
Okay.
The rest is gonna be just chill. We're just
there is. We could talk a little bit about the Bulletstorm meme dubstep whoop 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 trailer.
Oh yeah.
If you
want to pull that up? Okay, yeah, sure. Bulletstorm. Hey guys, it's us Gearbox. We're popular. We're cool. We made a game that you like.
See. Seriously, it's I just cannot stand dubstep. You're trying too hard.
When Gearbox does something really stupid, I feel really bad because they're pretty close to where I live, and I'm like, hey, you know,
Well, you see, I thought that like maybe adding Duke Nukem was stupid, but yeah, whatever.
They literally said when they announced that at the what was it, the Game Awards or the PSX or something?
Yeah.
It was the Game Awards.
The Game Awards.
Yeah. That they were like, hey, we want to really release this game, but we want to put something in here to make more people want to buy it and pre-order it. So they're like, so we have Duke Nukem and we're not doing anything with him. That's literally what he said.
In the game, but as a pre-order.
Yeah, pre-order bonus. I bet you could buy it if you didn't.
Yeah,
if you didn't,
I think it's gonna be day one DLC.
Yeah, if you didn't. If you didn't.
If you didn't pre-order, it's probably gonna be like $5.
Yeah, here's the launch DLC.
What's it to you?
Okay, well, I just wanted to, I just wanted to say that because it was just, like, really, okay. But the other thing, the other thing that I wanted to mention, well, two things, and they're both Telltale stuff. We did get a next episode of the season 3, but we also got an official image of Guardians of the Galaxy.
We actually got a trailer for that. Actually.
Oh, for the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, that's of the Galaxy. Was it Telltale? Yeah, we actually got a trailer for that. Yeah, here it is. I thought it looks pretty generic and bad. I don't know. Like, the jokes weren't even funny, which is kind of criminal in a game that's supposed to be funny. Is supposed to be more comedy based. Because I feel like they're going for what they did with Tales with the Borderlands, which was actually decent game, but I don't know. Also,
did you play the Batman one? I heard that was actually really, really good.
Yeah, I hear that was good because it actually like remixes the Batman mythos. But I haven't played it yet. No.
And it does its own thing, and that's probably why people like it a lot. It actually does. I've only played the first episode, but I gotta say it's not really a type of Batman story I've seen before, and that's probably why people like it.
The problem that I have with people like trying to remix Batman's story is that I mean, I haven't played it, so I don't know what they did with it, but you know, a lot of those characters are thematic to Batman. Like they represent something to Bruce Wayne, or to, you know, the values that Batman has on like authority and policing and stuff like that.
They do, of course, change the villains as well and add new ones in. And this is more of a Bruce Wayne story than a Batman story, if that means anything.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not really like a villain type of story. It's a very personal story for Bruce Wayne.
this top comment here, I just feel like that. It's just like, come on, man, Telltale, do your own thing.
I haven't seen top comment yet. I gotta wait for YouTube to.
Yeah, the stream has it caught up. Yeah.
Great, but yeah.
Looks like Disney Infinity. It does. The image of Star-Lord is pretty atrocious here.
Yeah, I know.
He looks.
I was looking at it.
Could they not have gotten Peter Quill's likeness, whatever his name is?
Also, I love how in the trailer, in the description, it says that the game is the Batman Telltale series.
Yeah.
They didn't even decide to change that.
I think it's mainly because that was an automatic thing, because the game's not even YouTube hasn't even gotten stuff. I don't know. Yeah,
it's just crazy. Like, really, we're doing this? We're doing this?
I don't like the idea of factory churning out like narratives and stuff. That's what it seems like. I don't know how big I don't.
That Star-Lord face is just.
Yeah, I don't like it. He doesn't look goofy. He looks too serious. He looks like generic movie protagonist, a generic white guy protagonist from most games. The thing about like Star-Lord from like the movie is that he looks goofy. He looks.
He was just a dude. He looked like a dude.
He looks like a dude. He's kind of a little bit chubby. I mean, he looks good without when he takes off his shirt. He looks good, but like he's a little bit on the chubby side when he's like, I don't know. I like that movie, and this guy, he doesn't look goofy. I don't think like
also,
the one joke that he has.
This is going to be a rush game because they need to get it out. Well,
for the movie.
Yeah, because they need to get it out because Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is coming out.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a rush game. It's probably now. Here's the thing: is it going to be worse than Minecraft Story Mode?
No, it can't be worse than that.
They literally added more episodes than the traditional Telltale game. Like, dude, stop.
It was that popular though. That's the thing.
It was that popular, but it wasn't even good.
No, it wasn't. It was just a generic story. I'm trying to wonder how big their team is. But
I would hope it's big because, oof, jeez.
Yeah, there's their team right there. That's a lot of people. But you still gotta have a lot of good writers, which I don't think they have. Oh snap! They have dental and vision coverage. I might. Where are they? They're in San Francisco. No, thank you. I'm not going to California. That's stupid. California's expensive.
Oh well, I can definitely go there. Oof.
Yeah, I don't. No. Okay, here we go. Here's the Ghost Recon article that I was looking at. Sells more at launch than any other, but this launched before Andromeda, so I don't know how much Andromeda's sales were. But
I think Andromeda must have.
I don't know. I feel like RPGs are still a bit like Mass Effect is mainstream. It's one of the more mainstream of RPGs, but I think that RPGs is still a niche type. More people are gonna gravitate towards the generic shooty bang bang because you could do that with friends, and
yeah,
it's just simple. So think about it like this. Most people who play games, they play games to relax after work or school. So come after a long day of school or work, you're really frustrated. What do you want to do? You want to shoot people in the face?
You want to get even more frustrated because your weapons break in Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, not really specifically of that because that reminded me of Jim Sterling. I was listening to the latest Podquisition, and he said he couldn't talk about Yooka-Laylee, the game, because the embargo isn't out for reviews, but he said if you pre-ordered that game, be very cautious. and Laura Dale was like, yeah, I would be very cautious if you pre-ordered that game yourself, because he wasn't liking it apparently.
Ooh. Well, I mean, they are trying to recapture a Banjo-Kazooie and trying to pull on that nostalgia, so I kind of feel like maybe people that would only have nostalgia for Banjo-Kazooie would even consider.
But Banjo-Kazooie is actually a legitimate... I don't have nostalgia for it, but Banjo-Kazooie is a legitimately good game. I do recognize that, but
still need to play it. That's probably why.
I think that
I have no excuse. I have a freaking Xbox One and I don't even have Rare Replay.
Andromeda is awful though. Yeah, I haven't played it myself. I'm not a fan of Mass Effect. Sorry if that's like an internet, like people hate me. I'm playing through like Mass Effect 3 right now, and I'm actually enjoying it. But
oh yeah. I don't think Mass Effect series is terrible.
I don't think it's terrible, but I think it's a very
it tends to get very, very overhyped, like 10 out of 10 best game.
Yeah.
And I'm like
the fans are very like they don't I know. I recognize that, you know, you see things in those games. You see the characters. You love those characters, and you really emphasize with those characters. Fandom is good. I like something that I haven't been really emphasizing. Like, I've been shitting on a lot of things like anime and stuff like that. But like, if you're a fan, fandoms are good. You like a certain things. You see these certain values in these properties, and you like them for those.
Unless you're a part of the Call of Duty fandom, in which, well.
Well, I mean, like, even for that, if you, like, enjoy it, but, like, there's always that certain line that you're not supposed to cross. There's a toxicity once you cross that line of fandom that, you know, like, you make your whole life obsessed and, like, around that thing. Like, it gets kind of, like, exclusive. Yeah, I'm with you, Larry. I'm not a fan of Mass Effect myself. I don't think it's the best series. Wait 1 second. I have a phone call. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'll talk here for a little bit, but basically what Sponge was saying about, I completely agree. I mean, I like to make fun of the COD community because, well, I personally have seen what type of community they can be and fandom, but I also make fun of the Sonic community because of how ridiculous they can be, especially the SA3 community. I do not recommend any of you like looking up SA3 community because they just, ooh boy, yeah. But you know, it's all in good fun, and honestly, if you like a certain type of game and you understand why it's good, and you have a fandom, that's all good, and fandoms are just super great. I mean, again, like, I'd like to bash on the Sonic community, but at the same time, I can acknowledge that their fan games are really good. So yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, Sponge is back. Hello.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, the best video that I used to not really enjoy. I used to think that Undertale was just a fun little game, like funny. I don't like the RPG-ness of it, like the bullet hell and all that, the actual gameplay. But I actually like Undertale. But really, it made me appreciate the game more was a video that Bomber Guy did about it. That made me recontextualize the whole game as this game about fandom and about, like, if you watch that video, I think that's the best video on Undertale that I've seen. It was really better than, hey, Nessus. But I'm sorry for bashing on. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Really. Or the fact that he gave freaking Undertale to the Pope. Yeah, because that totally happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a problem with. I like watching people play multiplayer games. I like people enjoying stuff, seeing people enjoy stuff. I don't play multiplayer games that much. I don't play, which is one of the reasons why I haven't bought Overwatch so far. Because, even though I do play it on the free weekends, because I do enjoy it to some level, but I'm not gonna buy it because I don't really like getting into multiplayer games. Is not really my thing. I'm a single player person, so yeah. So that's that. So Gumshoe, you wanted to watch this Bulletstorm trailer?
Okay, yeah, we're gonna watch the Bulletstorm trailer.
We're gonna be a reaction channel.
Yeah, we're gonna be a reaction channel. You ready?
Okay. I hope this is not too loud.
Yeah, we don't want to get copyright strike.
Oh, please, let's just turn this down a little bit. Oh, we're totally gonna get striked with something.
Oh man,
is it Bulletstorm cool? I mean, I hear Bulletstorm is fun, but you know, I haven't played it myself, unfortunately. But
I played that Duty Calls thing that was promotion when the first Bulletstorm came.
That was
it's just kind of.
It was a bad parody. I mean, it's okay parody. I mean, like, I don't know. It's criticizing the progression systems and like very generic plots of a lot of but like a lot of people see like Call of Duty as being jingoistic, and it kind of is. Like, but like a lot of people confuse like pro-war with pro-military. You could be anti-war but pro-military in a game, because like the military, you had fun playing Bulletstorm. Yeah, I do plan on playing it eventually because
no, because it just looks like the type of game that is fun to just play. And
oh well, I do like People Can Fly. I like they made another game that I liked, which the one with the guy who goes Painkiller. They made Painkiller, which is also
that, huh?
They made Painkiller, which is a pretty awesome series. I mean, the first one. I don't know about the other ones. The other ones, I don't think were made by them. So, but I think that
and that's why they sucked.
Yeah. So I should have ended this early and say, hey, this is the end of the main podcast, but and now this is just like post podcast wind down. But
yeah,
if we wanted,
this is basically I guess the end, unless there really is something else to add. But I think we kind of covered everything.
Yeah, we pretty much covered anything. If anybody wants to talk about anything or like if you just want to chill, that's fine. I'm fine with that. But if nothing else, then we'll just end it off here. I have other stuff to do. I mean, I could be doing other stuff, like actually finishing off that Resident Evil script, which I don't know. Yeah,
I need to do a huge recording session today, but hey, at least that won't take too long, and I'm gonna be doing it later in the day anyway, so I still got some time.
Yeah, Painkiller is fun. Yeah, I think like I said earlier, like after a while, just the shooty bang bang games get kind of boring if you just play those games, and that's all you do, because that's that. Like right now, we're having a problem right now in the game industry. Like we're not like the very early days of games industry. Like okay, so we got. Hey, yeah, you're welcome, Larry. So, like the very early games or days of the games industry, so we had, like the first person shooters being like, Battlezone, where you're a tank, and then iteration on that was next big step was Wolfenstein 3D, which made this faux 3D first person shooter, which made it a lot more interesting. Then you had Doom, which kind of made it a lot more prettier. But then Quake came along and it was an actual 3D first-person shooter, which there's some things that you could do in Quake. You could jump now and do like rocket jumps and stuff. You couldn't do that in Doom. There's more interactions that you could do in Quake that you couldn't do in Doom in the previous games. And then like Half-Life came along, and then it was like, hey, you could. Yeah, I'm not old enough to do that, but
Hey! I am not old enough to appreciate anything that is like N64, but I still do. So
I think that it's still interesting to talk about. I wasn't around during the Roman times, but I still it's still necessary to talk about Roman civilization. But if I'm wrong about anything, do please correct me. I don't claim to be an expert in anything. I'm just this guy who really enjoys this stuff, and I'm just repeating what I and trying to add analysis to things that I've already heard. But but after Half-Life came along and said, hey, you could have a first person shooter that also tells an interesting story, and then after that, first-person shooters didn't really iterate after that. You had first-person shooters that told that were good, but I don't think that after Half-Life we've had like a technological advancement or anything else that actually made gaming more interesting. I think this closest thing is probably yeah. It's a joke. Yeah. I think that first person, I think that the closest that we're getting is VR, and I really hope that VR takes off and becomes popular, but the reality of it is not, because, it's another barrier that gaming is already one of the most mediums that has so many barriers to entry. Not only because you're not really taught as a child that much how to consume games, how to play them, and how to actually properly interpret them. Like books, we're good at like literature. Books, you get taught how to read those books, how to analyze them, stuff like that. Movies, you watch them. Television, you watch them a lot as a child. But like gaming, if you're not like that as a child, you didn't learn. Like I'm trying to get some friends into like someone who didn't play games as a child. It's really hard for them to get into first person shooters. I was trying to get a friend to play Portal, but they couldn't really understand the whole, the moving and looking at the same time. And it's really sad because like Portal is like one of the greatest games and well designed games, but people can't enjoy that because it's not something they're used to. And hopefully maybe VR might help people, but it's another barrier. People are going to have to pay for that. Maybe the price is going to come down.
I would think VR would be a little bit more because you can't just only use it for games.
Yeah, you could. You could also use it for other things, but also there's a thing that it's really a crapshoot of whether or not like somebody's going to be able to actually accept VR because a lot of people do get sick by using VR. And also if a game is not well optimized for that, it makes nothing turns one off of VR more than actually putting on a VR headset and wanting to throw up. And it's really really troubling. I really hope that VR gets through, because and becomes more popular, even though that I might not enjoy it myself, because it really does seem like something that developers want that to happen, and they could actually better tell more interesting stories or more different gameplay options with those. But hopefully, that happens.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So I guess with that said, that's everything we need to do. This was kind of like this is pretty fun.
Pretty fun, casual thing. We've been hour 30 minutes. That's not too long. I was actually. I think the actual end of the podcast was an hour, which I kind of wanted. The rest we've been droning on for a while, so I think this is good. Good alpha testing, and we'll see next time if this works out. Hopefully next week. All right, see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.